Are you a broke loser? Do you want to stop being a broke loser? Well, buy my book on Amazon. It's $2.99 for an ebook or $9.99 for a hardback. It's called Stop Being a Broke Loser. If you buy this book, you will no longer be a broke loser. So buy it now. Bum, 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 bum. I just recreated everything money software in Microsoft Excel. But I don't know if I can share it because they might sue me and I don't want to lose all my money. But I still think this is freaking awesome. So let's go look at this right now. That was the Army song. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I did it. I recreated everything money's software in Microsoft Excel. Am I not just the most intelligent man in all of human history? That's right. Now I'm going to show you what I did, and I'm probably not going to share this because I'll probably get freaking sued. I don't know. Maybe I'll go talk to Everything Money and see what they have to say about it because it still is a good community. But I actually replicated their software in Microsoft Excel. Now, to caveat, you do need a Morningstar subscription. If you go check your local library, they probably have a free subscription. And if you do, then you can literally take this Excel sheet, which I said I'm not sure if I'm going to share it or not. You could take this Excel sheet and you could build your own freaking models without Everything Money software. Of course, I don't have like the income statement isn't as pretty and the balance sheet isn't pretty, and I don't have the PE ratio, and there's a lot of percentages that aren't there. But when it comes to just the basic assumptions, revenue growth, share change, profit margin, free cash flow as percentage of revenue, PE, price of free cash flow, desired annual return, buy points, all of that is in here. So here's how you do it. Obviously, you have your input page. So I have the low assumptions in yellow, middle assumptions in orange. I don't know my colors. And the high assumptions in green. Maybe I should switch that around. I don't know. But you can actually input the stock ticker up here, and you can put the stock price here. Now, there's actually a way. You have to look it up yourself. There is some kind of way in Excel. I think you have to have Microsoft 365. You can actually like have the stock price imported into the software. But I don't think I have 365, or if I do, I don't know how to freaking do it. So I have to manually input this price. But you don't really even need this price in here. You can always just do your assumptions and then go check the price on Google. But I like to put it in here just so I can quickly check the current price versus what the earnings are, or what the buy points are for each level of assumptions. So you can literally just type in your assumptions. So you can just do 3, 4, 5. And as you see in the bottom, these numbers instantly change. Now, there is this bottom part right here, currency conversion rate. You only want to look at this if you have a foreign company that reports in some kind of foreign currency. So you actually need to manually input the foreign exchange rate to get the earnings or the buy points in US dollars. I did that like Volkswagen or something, and I was like, what is going on here? This is crazy. This is like 1,000% undervalued. And then it's like, oh wait, currency exchange rates. So you got to do currency exchange rates. You actually have to manually look that up. I don't know if you can freaking automate that in Excel too. I'm not an Excel genius, but I'm pretty decent at it. So how did I do this? Well, I have this input page where you literally just type in your assumptions. That's it. But I also have this other page, which is all the background data. So here's how you populate this page. Morningstar has a template that if you download it, it downloads it the exact same way every single time. So it's the exact same format. So if you go on Morningstar, oops, I didn't mean to show you that. If you go on Morningstar, you can actually go to key ratios. So first you want to type in the ticker. We're looking at Target. Go to key ratios, full key ratios data, and then it brings up this key ratios. You hit this little export button and it downloads an Excel sheet right off the bat. So here's the Excel sheet. So what I do is I take this Excel sheet that downloaded, I copy from B4 over to L4, and then I copy all the data all the way around. Now the stuff on the far left is already populated in the in the analyzer tool that I made in Excel. So you literally just come in here, click on B4 in the key ratios page on your actual analysis sheet, and you paste the data. Now, on the left here, I have different compounded growth rates over different amounts of years. So that can kind of help you figure out rough assumptions. But you can also go look in other places on here. So I did that. It does it for revenue, operating income, operating margin, or gross margin, operating margin, share buybacks, how much that's changed. And I've highlighted certain areas to make it easier to see. So if you want to check shares, because you have to input share change assumptions into your tool. Net margin, this is where you would do your, this is also one of the inputs. Revenue growth year over year, this is what I like to look at. I like to look at like averages or basically normal growth percentages and not fluke years. Free cash flow is a percent of sales. That's one of the inputs as well. All that's highlighted. Now, here at the very bottom, I have a bunch of different calculations. And this is how I get the numbers in here. So basically, this data that you input here is going to feed into these down here. So if you ever copy this over, you want to actually like only copy the data from Morningstar from B4 all the way down to B11 or B111 and then over to L111. You don't want to copy the whole freaking thing and paste it in there because it'll overwrite all this. So here's how I did it. When you're doing stuff like this, all the software is doing is it's saying, here's the revenue over the last 12 months. And then what it does is it projects the revenue over the next 5 years, which, by the way, this is a 5-year thing only. It projects revenue over the next 5 years, and then it takes that revenue and it multiplies it by the profit margin to get the cash flow for every year going forward. For example, if we look at the low assumptions on this, multiple of earnings, so low. So year one, this is the revenue that's projected. And this feeds in from the trailing 12 months revenue on the top here. That's where it pulls the information from. You can actually see it, L4. If we double click it, it should bring up the formula. See, so it takes the last 12 months of revenue and then it plops it down here and it grows it by your assumption. So it actually references the input page. It grows the revenue by the percentage you want. It then takes the net margin, the profit margin that you've input here, and figures out what the cash flow would be. It then takes and discounts that based on whatever your desired annual return is. So it's pulling in all the data from here. So you want to fill this out first and then copy and paste the information into here, and then it automatically calculates it. So it projects revenue over a couple years, and then it projects revenue over a couple of years, and then it spits out a terminal multiple. So that's all it's doing there. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm still tweaking this a little bit, but so the numbers aren't going to be exact, but basically it's pretty freaking close. And once I actually get it perfect, then the numbers will match exactly. So, for example, I did target here. We did, let's see, what did we do on 8 pillars? 2, 3, 4. So let's copy everything. 2, 3, 4. And -2, -3, -4, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12. Okay, so if I literally copy everything from Everything Money's website, I get these assumptions here. And I actually copied and pasted them here. So the numbers are pretty freaking close, okay? It's a little off here on the low assumptions. I'm still working to fix that. But look at that. Look at the middle assumptions. It's 100.72 for the buy point for multiple of earnings, and it's 99.66 here. And then it's 125, and then it's 124 for Everything Money. So it's extremely close. And I think what's happening is I think it has something to do with the shares outstanding. Morningstar may actually give Everything Money slightly more detailed data as opposed to this, which will cause certain variations in the buy points. But they're so close, it's almost not even something to worry about. So that's that. I like this because a lot of the times you may have a stock that runs up like crazy and they have a fluke year of revenue growth. Well, if that's the case, what you can do is you can take the last 12 months of revenue, you can adjust it manually in the sheet to what you think the next 12 months can be, and you can actually do a more reasonable assumptions. Because sometimes companies have like fluke years where the freaking revenue explodes. So I like that because when you use the Everything Money software, it's using this number right here, this last 12 months of revenue, and it's projecting it forward, even if this is a fluke year and it's overstated and it's not a good assumption. Because sometimes companies have revenue spikes and then they drop back down. I mean, look at 2015 to 2016. It went from 73 million to 69 million of revenue. Now, if you had started your assumptions in 2015, your assumptions going forward would have been increasing by whatever percentages from 73 million. Whereas in reality, the revenue dropped to 69 million because maybe this was some kind of crazy fluke year. But that's that. Let me know your thoughts. I'm still refining this, and I'm going to use this for myself. And I don't know. I don't want them to sue me, so I'm not going to share this yet. But I guess if they don't give a crap, maybe I can share this on my page. But that's it. Hope you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know what a genius I am. And y'all have a wonderful, delicious day. Chew!